What's up, guys? Hey, thanks for joining in again to another episode of Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. We really appreciate it. We got Donnie Big Guns over here on vacation, so it's just me and Tyler today.
How you guys
and my
doing?
boy Tyler. So we're super excited, guys. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're not going to do the divisions. We kind of got some requests on more of some individual players, position battles, QBs, tight ends, receivers, running backs. So we're going to do a few more shows on these.
About that, so.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's get started, guys. We're going to do quarterbacks in this show. We got some good stuff. We're not going to go every single one and bore you to death. Some of them are kind of obvious, but we're going to give you some sleepers, some guys we like, some people that are overrated. Let's get right to it in 1 second. Don't get too excited. Guys, check this out. I put it on our Facebook page. This is our autographed David Johnson mini helmet we're going to be giving away. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and check out Fantasy Football Wrap-Up on Facebook. And Tyler and myself or Donnie will respond to you when you join the group to prove you. And so again, you just got to like, subscribe, and join our Facebook page. We'll see that you joined it. And you'll be qualified to win this. So I think we're going to do 2 weeks, probably maybe the first week of August, maybe somewhere around there. Because we have another prize too.
Yeah.
So, we'll let you know in the Facebook group. So, guys, make sure you check that out. Like, subscribe, and then join Facebook.
Yeah, who doesn't love David Johnson, so.
Yeah, how could you not? And it's free. All you do is like, subscribe, and join a fantasy football group to talk fantasy football. It's thousands of people do it every day. So again, Facebook, Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We have a good show for you guys. We're going to kind of run through our top 15 quarterbacks that we have. Some of them are kind of obvious. Tyler, why don't you start with the first 2 or 3 we got here?
All right, so first on our list is Aaron Rodgers. Some people have Tom Brady out there over him, but right now I think Aaron Rodgers and that offense, I mean, they're most likely going to be losing in a lot of their games, or at least battling out every game. They're not going to be blowing people out. Anyone that's seen what the Patriots have done this offseason, it's pretty much just going to be running the ball in the fourth quarter.
I agree.
So I think he gets the edge because of, being behind a little bit, plays a little bit, bad defenses, plays a little bit less competition at that point.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I got him at 1. Number 2 is going to be Tom Brady. Like we just said, he has Brandon Cooks this year, Gronkowski, so he's who I'd slide in there. 3, it's pretty much an obvious one. Drew Brees is the third guy, I think, on almost everyone's. I haven't seen anyone with him at 2 yet, but... and
he was good for you last year, right? You had him as your QB last year?
Yeah, I had him as my quarterback last year, and he carried me to the championship. Well, I didn't win it, but he got me to the championship, and it wasn't his fault that I didn't win it. So, so he's got very favorable matchup, too, in the Super Bowl week. Playoffs, I think he plays Atlanta twice.
Yes, I believe you're right.
I think it's Atlanta... I'm not sure on the other team. I should have looked it up before this, but it could be like a Tampa Bay. I know his schedule is really easy.
It wasn't Tampa Bay because the defense is good. I would notice that. I'll look it up. And,
but he's got a really easy schedule.
Yep.
So at 4 is Matt Ryan.
Yep.
We got Matt Ryan here. Julio Jones and him, they're usually pretty good together.
I think that's another obvious one, Matt Ryan, too. I think these first 3 or 4 are just kind of the way they should go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Matt Ryan, nobody shows him love, though, in the ADP. A lot of the ADP has Andrew Luck above him.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. We got him in, round 6 to 7?
6 or 7-ish.
Right.
So in 10-team leagues. So if you play 12-team, it might be a little bit earlier than that. But
right.
So 5, we're going to go Andrew Luck right here.
Yep.
The only reason why I'm hesitant at drafting him at all right now is he's starting the preseason on the PUP list. So he's not going to be practicing or anything this offseason. So until that changes, I kind of keep him off my draft board if I was you guys.
It makes me nervous too, knowing the fact. Because what if he's not? They're probably going to hold him out just to build up the arm strength. What if he's not really 100% in week 1 or 2?
Yeah, what if he's 70 or 80%? So.
How does that affect T.Y. Hilton if you want to draft him early in the second round, middle of the second round? So a few things to watch there with Andrew Luck.
Yeah, so 6...
I think the top 5, before you get to 6, I think the top 5 is really solidified. I think after 5,
definitely.
It starts going, I think after 1 and 2, there's a separation.
Yep.
I think Ryan, Breeze, Ryan, and Luck, I think that's the order for me, too.
It is, yeah.
And I think there's going to be a little gap here between after 5 and...
Yeah, so with number 6, we have Mariota here.
Yep.
I just think he's been growing each year he's been in the league. They just added Decker into that offense.
Yep.
Murray there again. He should be able to take a lot of pressure off of...
they drafted Corey Davis.
Another big-time receiver.
A lot of weapons. And he threw a lot last year, too. Probably a little bit more than what most people thought. So
I mean...
He runs the ball. He's pretty efficient.
Yeah, and actually, his efficient rating was insane last year. He was
Right.
pretty good when he's not asked to throw the ball, 60 times a game. He only averaged 17 passes a game last
Right.
year.
Right.
So
And he had a slow start. He
so
really
like
took
17
off.
completions a game, not passes.
Yeah.
So he only completed about 17 balls a game, but
And his numbers got better through the season too. He didn't
Yeah.
start off great. His numbers really got good.
Yeah.
5-6 weeks in or so. He ended up with 34, 26 passing yards, 26 TDs.
he also missed a couple games.
And he
at the
missed a
end of
few
the year.
games. Yeah. He has 350 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. So it kind of gives you
Yeah.
both aspects. And that really helps for us. Again, we're in a 6 touchdown, 2 interception league. Well, I know some people play the 4 and 2 or 4 and
Yeah, for your
4
touchdown
minus
points.
2, 4.
Yeah.
Did you say you saw someone that's 4 minus 3?
Yeah, someone has
Well, that's
a
tough.
touchdown rate when your quarterback throws for a touchdown, it's 4 points, and then when he throws an interception, it's -3.
Oh my god!
So I mean, at that point, if you might as well draft a quarterback in the first round
Yeah.
at that point, because if you don't get one of those top 3 or 4 guys, you're in some serious trouble.
I guess you're just in a league that doesn't like scoring. I
Right?
guess at the end
I
of the
know.
week, you want everybody to be like 60 to 57.
Yeah, I know. Like in our league, guys, we have and if any of you guys out there, we've already had a couple questions about this, want to adopt this type of a point system.
Right.
Every 4 completions for our quarterbacks gives them a point.
Right.
So we just like to change it up
Right.
a little bit. So
I think we just try to make quarterbacks a little more relevant.
Yeah.
We watch some of the shows and it's like, oh, my quarterback got me 18 this week.
yeah,
Wow,
and
wow,
it was
that's
an insane
awesome.
game, and it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, my quarterback could be 40.
Right. Yeah. No,
And
most
he's a real
quarterbacks.
draft pick.
It is,
so-
right, that's correct. And most of our quarterbacks will run a decent average quarterback, a Dak
25,
Prescott,
26.
25, 26.
Yeah, about that.
Rogers' average is about 34, so it's not crazy. When I got
Yeah.
getting 80,
Yeah, and
I
when you
think it's
average the
good.
points out over a season at the end
Right.
of the year, I
Right.
think we did it out earlier today. It only averages to be between was it him and Rivers?
Rivers is about
a
a 10
a
point.
10-point difference
a week.
per week. So,
Right.
but the player you also get instead of taking Rogers, it
high.
almost washes it out. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But it does make the quarterback relevant where some leagues think, well, you don't even have to draft a quarterback until the end. It does bring ours up. Maybe not first, second round.
definitely, yeah.
Well, not for me, us anyway.
Yeah, we
Other
don't take
people-
them at all early, but
Right. But it makes them relevant, so that's what we got.
all right. So we'll move on to number 7 right now. Number 7's Kirk Cousins, who.
Yeah.
In my opinion, could have a monster year, which is what I think he's going to have with the addition of Terrell Pryor. I know they lost Pierre Garçon, but Terrell Pryor's a different receiver. He's an actual wide receiver. I think.
Yeah.
Well, not that Pierre Garçon isn't, but
Dude, you get a receiver in Cleveland that get you 1,000 yards. What is he going to do with Kirk Cousins?
That's what I'm
throwing to him?
saying.
Is he going to get 2?
yeah,
Like he's going to be the first one at 2,000 yards.
yeah. So I wouldn't go
Yeah.
that crazy, but
Yeah.
Pryor should be a guy to watch out to. We'll get
Right.
into him in a different show, but
Right.
yeah. So Kirk Cousins. I think he had 4,900 yards last year. Yeah, 49-17 last year.
42-17.
40.
Oh, I'm sorry,
49.
49-17. or something like that.
49-17 last
Right.
year. So
Right.
yeah.
Almost 30 touchdowns if you take his 25 passing and his 4 rushing.
Yeah,
So
so
almost
he's-
30 touchdowns, which he
yeah.
probably could get a little bit better at that.
Well, yeah. Again, last year he didn't have anyone. He had
Right.
Deshaun Jackson and Garcon, but Garcon isn't
Right.
known as a touchdown guy.
Right, Jackson got hurt for a while. Crowder came on later. And now this is also a guy that's newer in the league. He hasn't been a starter his whole
Yeah,
career.
exactly.
So the year before, we would watch him and we would play him. We would stream him on his home games.
Yeah.
Because his home games, it's like Big Ben. It's great at home, not good on the road. Last year we put it all together. We think this year he takes another step.
I think that, and just based on his ADP, is why I like him at 7.
Me
Because
too.
you get him in round 9. You
Right.
can't get another quarterback around 9 that's going to put.
Is that what his ADP is? Around,
Yeah, 90 something.
93 it's got. Maybe
Yeah.
the best overall value as a quarterback
Is
because
Kirk
how
Cousins.
good he could be.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking almost 5,000 yards and you get him in round 9. I
Yeah.
mean, Rogers didn't even have that much.
Yeah, he had
Rodgers-
almost 30 touchdowns. So I think that
Right.
goes up. I think he gets about 31 touchdown passes, maybe 3 rushing this year.
Right.
So 34 is what I see.
And you get him in the 9th round on average?
Yep.
Jesus.
I wouldn't expect 5,000
Crazy.
yards. That's a little unrealistic, but
Right.
I could see 4,700.
And if
something
you're in a
like that.
draft league where your league usually drafts quarterbacks late,
Mhm.
he might even be like around maybe 10, 11, 12.
Oh,
like
definitely.
ours, they start a little earlier, so he's probably about the 9th. But
Yeah.
if that's different for you and you go in all your quarterbacks draft late, he's going to go later.
Yeah, so yeah, you can get him like you just said 10, 11, 12.
Right. Even 9 is great.
But yeah, so number 8, we got Russell Wilson here,
Mhm.
who we didn't even, this guy laughed
He
because
had a good year.
he had a good year, and we crap on him a lot.
We did.
But,
We dogged him a ton.
But he finished the year with 4,219 yards
Right.
last year. But I just look at him on playing. I
Right.
never would have guessed 4,000 yards at all.
Right.
He just seems like that. almost like Marcus Mariota, but not. I feel like Mariota's ceiling's why we have him rated.
He just reminds me so much of like a game manager that gets a lucky
yeah, Alex
throw.
Smith style,
Maybe
like
just a hair more.
You know, a little bit better arm strength, but yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of touchdowns though. I think he'd be higher. He only had 22 rushing and receiving. That's low. Although he was all kinds of banged up last year. That offensive line was a joke
he lost Jimmy Graham last year, who when Jimmy Graham was healthy was a top 5 tight end.
Did Graham get hurt what late? I didn't have him, so I didn't follow it.
I had him. I can't remember where, but he missed a good amount of games.
I'll tell you right now. Nope, he did. That was the year before. He only missed one game last year. 15 out of 16. Maybe he didn't play the full game, but he played 15 out of 16.
Yeah, but yeah. So he doesn't have as many weapons as some of these other guys above him too, which is why he ranks a little.
Yeah,
bit
he might have one. Yeah, he has a good. He has a decent.
He has Baldwin.
He's got Baldwin, who's
the
good.
Top, 20 wide receiver in the league.
Now you were a big Jimmy Graham for a while with the Saints, and they didn't even use him until like really last year on that Seattle offense. They didn't really take advantage of that.
Yeah, I don't think Graham got a lot of touchdowns last year. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, maybe he only had 6.
Yeah,
so less than one a week.
But yeah, so I mean, so we have him at 8.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go to number 9. This is gonna be Big Ben. He's one of our more underrated guys because,
and we'll talk about that in a minute too.
Yeah, he's still got Antonio Brown. He's got Martavius Bryant coming back. You got Le'Veon Bell there still.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's a good
At
point.
some point we will, I'm sure.
Or unless he holds out until week 10.
Right.
But,
right.
No. I just like him there.
Yeah.
There's no real tight end there. Just Jesse James, the outlaw.
Yeah.
But just having Brown alone is
I agree.
Pretty good. That's like Matt Ryan and Julio.
Right.
But this is one that we moved up our board since the beginning of the offseason. Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
He got after Deshaun Jackson signed there. Cameron Braid. They drafted O.J. Howard. They got Mike Evans still. That offense should be pretty damn good.
Yeah, I know the running back is unpopular. I know
Martin's out for 4 weeks.
Out for 4 weeks for suspension. But Jacquizz Rodgers is not a popular name. But if you look at the numbers when he started last year,
he was
good. Actually more productive than Martin was. So he's a nice little streaming running back late in the rounds if you get him. But that should help that offense too with the running game. And he should be more efficient instead of just chucking it over Evans all the time.
Especially with Jackson to be able, take the top off the defense. Maybe Evans doesn't have to run straight down the field this year.
Correct.
Maybe he can, kind of do some little post routes, get you a little bit of.
And he had 29 total touchdowns with 28 through the air. So just a small upgrade could get him 32, 33 touchdowns.
Yeah, and you know what? I honestly think with the way the weapons are, if you're in the red zone, I think he might take a couple in himself. He might get another 2 rushing touchdowns this year.
He could
if you spread him out and you can hit the quarterback draw, something like that.
Now he's not a big running threat. You're not going
to you're not going to get 500 yards on the year with him.
No.
But I mean, you could. It's not unrealistic to expect 3 rushing touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you could get the 1 yard goal line carries.
Yep.
Something like that. 'Cause they don't have a clear goal line back there.
No.
Not that I know of personally, unless they drafted one that's. Late in the rounds because Doug Martin's not a goal line back. Jacquizz Rodgers might be smaller than Martin, and then Charles Sims is a pass catcher. So so I don't think they really have a bruiser.
Yeah, they should be throwing a lot. He should take that next step up. How much of a step he takes, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah. So number 11, we're gonna go Derek Carr right here. He has the weapons. You guys will find out later in the show how we feel about him.
Yeah, he's got a load in his pants too. Yeah. He likes to crap all over himself. But anyway, we'll go over that later. But he has big upside. He has big upside.
He does. But there's also a risk. And that goes with all these guys at this point. So we're just going to run through the last 15. Then we got Phillip Rivers at number 12. Dak Prescott, number 13.
Yep.
Cam Newton at 14. I know a lot of people like him higher, but I just don't trust the injury factor. He's
not even throwing yet.
No, he isn't.
Makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Again.
So I think he was throwing in the locker room. If anyone's seen that video, he was throwing like 4 feet in the locker room to one of his running backs or something. But and then Matthew Stafford's going to round out our top 15.
Yeah.
And that's just because
he chucks the ball.
He does, and they're losing. Every single
every week.
Every week they lose.
Good defenses. You probably want to stream against him.
Yep.
If
he's playing Chicago, which he does twice a year, I believe.
Twice a year,
yeah. Play him in those games because he's gonna light them up.
Chicago, Green Bay. I mean, look at the matchups. If it's a good defense, when he plays Minnesota, you sit him. He does not play well. So he's a streamer. 1 week he can get you a lot of points. The other week he's gonna hurt you. And he lost me a week getting 13.
Where his ADP is, though, you're getting him in the 12th round in 10-team leagues, basically. Just just around that point.
Right.
You could honestly draft him and Rivers in the same draft and just stream each week on who's got the better matchup if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can do a lot with a lot of those guys. Yeah.
So just on his ADP at 120, well, it's 117.7.
Yeah.
But right around the 12th round, that's a pretty good value for him.
Yeah. So that's our top 15 guys. If we could go in more detail, we could spend hours here on that stuff.
But we don't want to bore you.
No, we're not going to. All right. So now what we're going to do now, guys. We're going to do. We're each going to pick a guy that we think has how do I want to phrase this?
The
A
one
guy
we
we
like
really
early.
like, and maybe a guy maybe not so much. So
Yeah.
Tyler, why don't you start it off? What do you like?
All right,
Maybe
so the guy I like if I'm picking early in the draft, I would say Tom Brady. I mean, I'm not a guy that drafts quarterbacks really that early.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, Kirk Cousins is my plan, and
Right,
he's in my league, and he's
Right.
probably the same one. But then it's
Right.
Phillip
Well,
Rivers and Matt Stafford.
Let's assume you're
So,
going to draft one early.
If I'm
because there are
drafting
people out
early,
there
because
that
I
will.
know a lot of you guys out there do draft early, so
Yeah.
I would target Tom Brady. I think he just got Rob Gronkowski back healthy. He's got Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
You know, I know Aaron Rodgers is rated higher, but Tom Brady at the end of the year might score more points.
Yep.
I just think on a per game, Rodgers is going to have more big games. That's
Yeah.
what I think. So, Brady's just going to be consistent. And that's what you need
Right.
out of your quarterback is
Right.
consistency. If you can consistently stay in our league, is like we told you, the 30, a little above 30.
Yep.
That's a good quarterback,
Yep.
and he's going to consistently be there in our league. We know that.
Yeah, I think it'll be higher than the 30.
Yeah.
That's what.
So he's probably going to be closer
great.
to the 35.
Yeah.
But he had 3,500 yards last year, and he missed 4 games.
He missed 4 games.
He threw 28 touchdowns, and he missed 4 games. So,
Right.
so I mean,
He can
it's
easily
gonna-
have another 300 yards a game is not that out of the question for another 12. He could have
Exactly.
been at 47, 4,800 with 35 touchdowns and maybe
and
two,
won
three-
the MVP.
maybe
Because that's
three
what would have
picks.
happened last year.
Probably.
So, I like him early. And then if I have to take one late, we talked about him a second ago, not too much, but Phillip Rivers. He's an 11th round grade on him.
Mhm.
And, he gets, I know they might have lost Mike Williams for the season. It's not been
Yeah, it's
determined
kind of
whether
been
it's...
conflicting. I've seen it where he has, and
And
some
then
others
he's
reported
not.
he's not, so
Yeah.
we don't know. But he's out for a little bit, and a big question mark the rest of the year. Anyway.
Yeah, and I love Tyrell Williams. I'm almost, not that I wish injury upon anybody, but
I hear you.
I'm happy for Tyrell Williams.
Me too.
'Cause nobody
Me
got a
too.
disservice more than him when they drafted Mike Williams
Right.
after what he did for that team last year.
Right.
And I'm not a San Diego fan, but I
Yeah.
respect that guy. He was awesome. in
He
fantasy.
struggled against Denver really, really
He
bad.
did,
But like everybody did, right?
Yeah,
You go back and look at Tyrell Williams' stats from week 2 to week 16 or 17, whatever you want to look at it, right? And take out the 2 Denver stats and look at his numbers. They are
he's like
they're
18 or
impressive.
20 in PPR league.
In our league, he averaged almost 20 a game,
Yeah.
which is really where the top 7 receivers do in our league, and that's where he did. So you just gotta watch the matchups there. But I like
Yeah, and then you got
It's gonna
Keenan
help him a
Allen
lot.
coming back healthy for how long? Who knows? But right now, to start the season, I like Rivers based on having a full, healthy Keenan Allen.
Yep.
And then you got Antonio Gates and the up-and-coming Hunter Henry, who
Yep.
I'm actually a little
He's
higher
got a ton
on.
of weapons, good running game. I like that pick.
And like you said, I didn't even mention Melvin Gordon, but Melvin
Right.
Gordon is
He's
he's
gonna take a little,
beast.
yeah.
So I like him there. So
Yep.
what about yours?
So this one I got early. Now, obviously, our early he goes Brady. I'm going Rodgers. These are obvious ones I know,
Yeah.
but you need to know like these guys are game changers. They're different.
are.
Even Breeze and Ryan, these two are a different cat. Brady's got all kinds of weapons. I think
Yes.
Rodgers is a little bit better, and this is why. Last year, going into the year, they struggled a little bit until they figured out their offense. That's because Randall Cobb was scheduled to be the 2. Adams was kind of coming up as the 3. They were trying to find the way. Nelson was coming off an ACL. They had Shreddy Lacy, which they didn't know what to do with him.
Shreddy Lacy.
They thought if he got into weight, they didn't really have the running game.
No,
They
they
figured
didn't.
that halfway out through the year. Lacy was done. They put Montgomery at running
Once
back.
Montgomery went in.
Adams became the 2, Cobb became the 3, and they knew exactly what they were going to do right from the get-go, right?
Yep.
So they knew what every position was, what every responsibility was. That's not what they had in the beginning. So once they found their identity, in week 6, I believe it was, they took off.
Oh yeah,
I
they
mean,
did.
Adams became a monster, a legit number 2 receiver in fantasy football.
Not
Last year
only
he could have
that-
been a free agent. This year he's probably going to go early, probably top 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So I think his upside this year, Nelson got better in the second half. after
Nelson
that
in the
ACL.
second half, funny you say that. He was the number 1 wide receiver until the end of the year from that when they took off.
He was a monster.
He was a monster.
He was.
He didn't. He was a touchdown, 2 touchdowns a game in
Right.
the beginning because he was scoring them.
Yeah.
but he only had like 2 or 3 catches a game.
Yeah, he wasn't getting
I
a lot.
had him at that point. It was
Yeah.
like
Small
2 catches,
small
31 yards, and 2
And-
touchdowns.
yeah.
And that's where you get your points.
Right.
But
But he kept you up there. I mean, he kept you
Yeah.
kept himself a viable option. The second half of the numbers, if you look at it, they're
he was a
great.
monster.
They're-
He was
yeah.
like almost 100 yards
Yeah.
every single game at the end of the year.
He had 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Adams had 12 touchdowns. A nice little sleeper for everybody that doesn't pay attention to him.
Yeah.
That's 26 touchdowns just with those two. They got on a roll.
They did.
I think that carries. They come into this year knowing Montgomery's the back, knowing he's the 2, Cobb is the 3, Nelson's the 1.
You know,
they
they
just
added
know,
Bennett.
and then they added Martellus Bennett,
Yep.
which he does like to throw to tight ends, although maybe not as much as we thought. But I think he has tremendous upside. 4,400. I think he could throw 5,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. I think a
Drew
monster
Brees
numbers for him.
season type thing.
I think
he
he
can do that.
I don't know if he's going to set the record. His offense isn't that good at 55,
Yeah.
but I think he's mid-40 passing touchdowns, and I think he's 5,000 yards this year.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's ever hit 5,000 in his career though.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I'd have to look.
I don't.
But he's
remember
always
if he did.
mid-4s. He's
Yeah, he
always
is.
around there, except I know he got hurt.
But he's another one that
Wow.
gets rushing touchdowns.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
He had 369 rushing, too,
Yeah,
and
so
4
he
touchdowns.
does.
so-
He does. He's not afraid to scramble
Right.
and get you
You're
guys.
talking 44 total. I think he has 45 just passing. Maybe a total of 50 this year. I
Yeah,
think he has
so, I mean, that-
tremendous upside. I've heard people say he might throw for 6,000.
Yeah, that's not
that's a little
happening.
bit of a stretch, but I think he's really good. So a guy like late is Tyrod Taylor.
Everyone sleeps on him. He's not even in our top 15.
No, he's in
But-
my top 20. I got him right around 19 or 20. So
Yeah.
if you're a 10-team league or 2-quarterback league, you need someone else. He's kind of sneaky. His overall numbers aren't the greatest, right? But if you look, like Watkins was hurt a lot. And then
Big
last year, he
questions.
got to the point where Marquise Gill went down, Watkins went down, and he was up to Robert Woods as the 1 receiver. And then your 2 and 3 was
McCoy. That's who your next one was.
Right, Charles Clay got a little better. But,
Yeah.
you know, if you look at their offense this year, they've got Andre Holmes that they signed off the free agent wire.
Yep.
They got Watkins coming back. Hopefully, it might take him a little bit with the foot, but he should get better. They drafted Zay Jones. If you don't know Zay Jones,
Watch
go
his-
back to the East-West Shrine game.
It's a beast.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a freak athlete. I think he could be a nice little small sleeper. And then they got Charles Clay. They got McCoy. If everybody can stay healthy, he can be a nice. He's going to be a really late round guy, right?
I
Like
think-
after round 12, maybe a free agency if it's a 10-team league.
You know, maybe his ceiling's
So-
someone like Mariota last season.
Yeah.
3,500
Yeah.
yards, but he could give you 400 on the ground or something like that.
Yeah, because he's going to have rushing yards. So if
Yeah.
you're a guy that believes in not even drafting really a quarterback until you absolutely have to because you're forced to, like
or
a
a
kicker,
2-quarterback team.
or you're a
league.
2-quarterback team league, you might
Watch
be able to
this
get
guy.
him late. You know, you match him up with a Brady or Rogers or Breeze Ryan, someone you got
Yeah,
earlier.
I mean, you don't have to. You're not expecting him to carry your team. So, like you
Right.
said, in a
People are
2-quarterback
gonna
league,
go with
if
the
you
bigger
got
name, too.
Rodgers and then you've got Tyrod Taylor late,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
going to give you good games. He plays well against the Patriots too.
People might go Stafford, Newton. They got bigger name value. Tyrod Taylor doesn't because he doesn't have overall impressive numbers. But if people stay healthy on his team, Zay Jones should stay healthy. Andre Holmes should stay healthy.
Watkins is the only one.
Watkins is the only one, and hopefully his foot is almost healed. It's not 100% yet, but I think he's got big upside, and not a lot of people know his name, and you can get him very, very late on a good target.
Totally
So
agree with that.
keep an eye out for him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, let's do. We're gonna do something right now about the most overrated and underrated guys in our list.
Yeah, so what do we do? I'm going to go first on overrated. You're going to go
Alright.
second on overrated.
Sounds good.
All right, and then we'll go back and forth that way
Alright.
next time. So, most overrated, Derek Carr. People, don't draft Derek Carr.
He's
all right?
not joking. He almost had a stroke because
Seriously, you people that I see on Facebook that say, do you think he's going to be, oh my God, look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. ESPN made a show of it. Guys, Derek Carr, right, last year, 6 games out of the 15 he played, right? Under 225 passing yards.
of this. Oh yeah, he's,
6 games.
And his schedule's harder this
6?
year too. Just so you guys know.
That is correct. Guys, he only threw four times out of 15 games. He
Yep.
threw over 300 yards.
I'm-
That is mind-boggling.
I'm not
for
sure
people
off
that
the top
think
of my
he's great.
head, but I'm
That's
almost willing to bet
Nuts.
that he didn't even throw for 250 against Denver at either of those games.
Well, he didn't play the second one because
Okay, so he was hurt.
it was week 17. He got hurt.
So-
The other game, I think he had 184. There was a stat correction because it was 179. Look at his KC numbers. He's a joke there too.
Uh-huh.
Baltimore,
It's in
he was
division.
under it. It's unbelievable.
He-
And he
he
had
can't
5
start in
games
that
in
division.
between there. So which is 5 average. So he had 5 average games.
Yep.
Basic run, average quarterback, middle of the pack.
Yo,
He
Matt
had 4
Stafford's
games where he was
more.
great. And he had 6 games where he was That's what I think of Derek Carr. Guys, he is overrated. Mark my words, you heard it here first.
All right, not as much excitement in mine because mine's purely ADP based on this one, but I'm going to go Andrew Luck's a little overrated just based on the injury because we don't know if he's going to miss a game, if he's going to what's to say he comes out.
What he missed last year.
I don't even remember, but let's just say he comes off the PUP list for week 1. He's only 75%. What if he takes a shot on his blind side? Oh, there he's done for the year. You know what I mean? Like that's what you could be getting with this guy. And you have to take him in like the 5th or 6th round.
Because he takes a beating. He is not past.
They have no offensive line. This is the only team.
It's a real concern.
Indianapolis fans out there should be pissed at your owners because they continuously just draft the Philip Dorsetts of the world instead of getting this guy help.
Well, they did fire finally halfway through last year, halfway through this offseason, whatever. They fired the general manager.
Yep.
Now they got I forgot the gentleman's name they hired, but apparently he's really good. So maybe going forward,
I'll be the judge of that.
You're right, because he's been taking a beating and it's not good.
No, but it's just the injury and where he is for me. Because a 5th or 6th round pick, I'd rather wait for Cousins, like we just said, and not have to worry about the risk.
He played 15 games last year, which kind of surprised me.
He threw for 4,200 yards last year, 31 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's just. I don't want to draft him in the 5th or 6th round, and that's where it is for me, and that's why I have him as my most overrated guy in our list. Because we have him rated at number 5, and that's just purely on the ADP and where that stuff is.
Because we're just going to assume people are somewhat healthy, and if he's healthy,
he is a good quarterback. The upside is there. But it's just for me, I can't justify taking him in the 5th or 6th round.
Because Moncrief should be healthy this year. He was kind of freaky last year. Hilton's always usually healthy. Frank Gore's solid and dependable.
Yeah.
They got an up-and-coming tight end, which I'm going to talk about in another show coming up probably in a couple of days. So we think he's going to be good. He's got a lot of talent, so that's why we kind of have him where we are. But you're right. I think he's a little overrated.
So that's just it from me.
Yep.
If you want to go to the most underrated quarterback, it's
Big Ben.
There it is.
Ben, my boy from Pittsburgh. No, I don't even like Pittsburgh. Sorry. We're a Pats fan. We don't like Pittsburgh. But the man is underrated.
And
I'm going to tell you why. You're going to get him late.
Right? You are.
Let's see. He could be a free agent, right?
He's not even in the... Oh,
his ADP's his rating,
he's 100.
He's 102, right? So, 10th, 11th, and that's if everything goes the way exactly it's going to go.
And not if anyone waits on quarterbacks like our league does.
There are times we've gotten him into free agency.
Yeah, you can claim
people don't want him. Guys, if you look at his home numbers, they are staggering.
They are. Last
year at home, because he's different.
He is.
What you just got to know.
He is.
If you play him at home, it's like playing a top 3 quarterback.
It
20
is.
In 8 games. 20 touchdowns, 5 picks. 20 and 5.
That's
like 2.75 a game.
That might be less than 8 games. I don't remember if they were in Cleveland or not at the end of the year when all of them sat.
Right.
So if they were at home, that's all stats in 7 games, which is even better case.
Right. I'm even going to look that up because I think he even missed
a game.
Didn't he miss a game last year?
I thought that was a road game.
Maybe. But anyway, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks, which assume that's 8 games, right?
Yeah.
That's like 2.7, just under 3 TDs a game, and that's less than a pick a game. I mean, those are impressive numbers. On the road, not so much. He pulls a Derek Carr and poops his pants.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns and 8 picks. So
he's
on the road, you don't start him. At home, you start him with all the confidence in the world. He's got Martavis Bryant coming back this year.
Yeah, he's going to be an animal.
Yeah, Lev Bell will play at some point. Brown, even if he doesn't, they'll find someone and they'll just throw all the time.
I'd still start him against New England, honestly, too, at home.
Guys, if Lev Bell doesn't play, holds out to week 10 if that's what he wants to do, right? Big Ben might be a better starter.
Yeah,
because they're going to throw 60 times a game.
Yeah.
Right, so
and Martavis Bryant might be a 3rd round or 2nd round pick at that point.
You just got to know, you play him at home, and on the road, you'll pick up a Tyrod Taylor, a Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Maybe someone later you can play on those other 8 games.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And do it that way. Again, this is because his ADP is like 102.
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean? Or if you get him on a free agency, you don't even have to really...
Yeah, you're not even losing anything about one of your 15th round picks.
If you're a 2-quarterback league and you don't pick him up and play him on the road games, that's like getting 2, Andrew Lucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. He's very underrated because of his... You just got to look at the home and road splits. The overall numbers, they're okay.
Yeah.
But his home ones are staggering.
Yeah.
They're good, so keep an eye out for that.
All right,
that's good stuff.
So for me, I got Kirk Cousins, and that's, again, ADP. He's a 9th round grade, around 9 or 10, and if you take him later, again, you're getting a guy that threw for 4,900 yards last year in the 9th round.
Right.
And like we said earlier, we already talked about him a lot, so I'll make it quick. But
Right.
he's going to get 30 touchdowns, I think, this year if he stays healthy. I know there's been reports about the owner not wanting to play him if he doesn't sign a contract in the future, just because he wants to find out where he's going with his team.
Yep.
But as it stands right now, Kirk Cousins might be the most underrated quarterback in fantasy football.
Yeah, probably. Probably. So, guys, that's what we got on quarterbacks. There's other guys we could talk about. We could probably spend a lot of time here. We probably keep this one a little bit short.
Yep.
Like, subscribe. Follow us on Fantasy Facebook. Wrap up, guys. Autograph David Johnson mini helmet. And we do have doesn't it come with an authenticated
there's an
sticker?
authenticity card in there.
Right, so you know it's legit. So that's what we got for that stuff. We're going to hit just a few email questions we got, and then that'll wrap up our show. So, So one of the questions we got is, which running back do you like better, Miller or Lynch? So, what do you think?
Lynch is going to get more touchdowns. I just go Miller just because that offense is probably going to run the ball against 260, 270 times. So I think just on that, and Lamar Miller's a better pass catcher.
Yep.
So I would go Lamar Miller. He has more big play potential. That's
in our league we do carries. You can we get some points for carries. So in our league, Miller, he doesn't get a lot of touchdowns, but he does get a lot of carries. He does get 20 plus a game.
Yep.
He'll get you some yardage. He doesn't really catch the ball as much as he did when he was with Miami. So that kind of brings him down. He doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. I like Lynch. I think he's got some good upside. I'd probably go Lynch over him.
Yeah.
I think their ADP is both right around the same in the third, fourth round. So if it's going to be the same like that, I think Lynch can give you more upside. I think Lynch is going to give you 10, 12 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to give you 1,300 yards because I don't think he's.
No, I see Lynch.
Is he 32?
Yeah, he didn't play last
year.
year.
He's older. He didn't play last year. The year before, he did play with Seattle. He struggled when he was hurt. So, but he's on a great offensive line, similar to Zeke in Dallas.
Yep.
So I think he could be. I think he's going to be a little bit better than that.
Yep.
So, question number 2. All right, who do you guys like better, Keenan Allen or Sammy Watkins?
That's so bad because they're both just hurt every time.
It is.
We looked the stats up before coming on here, and Keenan Allen's played 38 games and Sammy Watkins has played 37.
Yep.
I'll take Keenan Allen because he's played an extra game.
Yep, me too.
It's just one of those things.
You don't know which one's going to be more or less. Keenan Allen, his upside is retarded, guys. It's through the roof.
Let's put it this way: if he's healthy, he's probably going to be in the Mike Evans range.
Yeah, I think he's top five wide receivers. I think he's top 5.
If he's healthy, he's just that good. He's proven that.
Right.
So
he doesn't. He's not Julio Jones talented, but Rivers, what's he do? He's like Brady.
He just throws it
to him every time. He's option 1 every single play. So his upside is retarded. Now Keenan Allen's only played 7 games the last 2 years. But I was a little surprised. Tyler did the stats, and it was it 14 and 15 the 2 years prior to that?
15 and 14. Yep.
So he has played those big seasons, and if you get 15 games out of Keenan Allen
right now,
if he gets hurt at the end, you don't get him in the playoffs. Yeah, that'll stink. But he will carry you.
If you take him where his ADP is, which I believe is around the fourth-ish, fifth.
Depending on your
if you get him in that round,
and he could be a Mike Evans,
and he plays 15 games for you, you're going to the championship. That's just at that point, unless you butcher the first.
You got a top 5 receiver left round. I mean, I don't know what your first 3 picks are, but I know. I mean, that would be awesome for us.
I would be pumped.
That'd be crazy.
So,
keep an eye on that. Again, it's all going to come down to whether they're healthy or not. So. Thank you very much for the question, guys. If you have more questions, fantasyfootballwrapup@gmail.com. Where can they find us on Facebook?
Can I talk, please? Fantasy Football Wrap Up, all capitals, no spaces.
Right. On the first letters. So capital F on fantasy and football, capital W, capital U.
Feel free to, send us personal messages if you had them, post in the group. Right. Just please, guys, join. We're giving away the helmet on there. It's going to be going by liking, subscribing, joining that.
Yeah, and personal football questions, like just sending it directly.
Yeah.
Not personal. I don't need to know about your family problems.
But
just checking.
But yeah, so stay tuned. We are going to have more giveaways in the future, but this one's shooting for a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, and it's good stuff. So guys, thanks for joining very much. Like, subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you soon.